Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Coded by Jade. In this video, I'll be talking about my initial experiences studying a computer science degree. If this is your first video of mine that you've watched, I'm currently a first year computer science student at the University of Bristol. So in this video, I want to discuss the workload, the course difficulty, and the course content. First things first, I'm going to talk about the workload. I want to start by saying that I think for any STEM-related degree, especially at Russell Group University, that the saying A-levels are harder than your first year of university is definitely a misleading myth, and it isn't true at all. That's not to say that the workload is overwhelmingly difficult, but it's definitely a step up from A-levels. And part of the reason for this being a step up is just the amount of workload that there actually is. For term 1, I'm currently studying maths for computer science, computer architecture, and imperative and functional programming, and I'll talk about these in more depth later. I currently have 20 hours of synchronous teaching time per week, and only 2 of those hours are optional. And by synchronous, I mean that the learning is live rather than recorded, and this involves either face-to-face or online learning. Around 70% of that is face-to-face though, however, which I'm grateful for. And these involve math workshops, coding labs, and computer architecture labs. Computer architecture labs and imperative and functional labs are usually 3 hours each, and I have 2 computer architecture labs per week and 2 imperative and functional labs per week, and those are 3 hours each, so 1 for C programming and 1 for Haskell, which I'll get into that later. And I have 2 maths workshops per week, which are 2 hours each. All of my lectures are recorded, and I have 4 computer architecture lectures per week, which are 3 to 5 hours in total. These are usually around 4 hours, but this can fluctuate. I have to watch 2 sets of lectures before each maths workshop, and these usually add up to a maximum of just over an hour before each workshop. And then there are 3 to 4 lectures for both imperative programming and functional programming per week. Again, these are around 2 to 4 hours per week, and this fluctuates. So in total, I have around 7 to 11 hours of lectures to watch per week. There's an additional hour for my module Imperative and Functional Programming in-person Q&A session. So that's a maximum of 32 hours per week timetabled. And the department also recommends that we spend around 42 hours per week in total, each unit being 14 hours. So that's 14 hours per module. And as you can see, that's quite a bit more than the A-levels workload, at least for me, and I did 4 A-levels and an EPQ. Next, let's talk about course content. Right now, I really enjoy all of my modules, and I can't really pick a favourite because they blend together so nicely. Maths A is about logic, proof, probability, and statistics, and the start of this module is definitely a bit different than the course content for A-level maths or further maths. However, I was lucky to have seen this content before in some supercurricular work I did in preparation for a degree in computer science, and I'll leave some links to some of the resources I used to do this. Computer architecture is all about how computers put together from the computer scientist's perspective. The course goes bottom up from mathematical principles, including Boolean algebra, building circuits, to instruction set architecture and microarchitecture, which is designing the instructions for and building a processor. At the end of the module, it also goes more in depth about high and low level to machine code processing, and this involves assembling and compilation, which I'm looking forward to. And this module has the highest workload, and the labs are tricky at times, but it's very interesting nonetheless, and I'm really enjoying the course. I hope that I somehow get towards the level of one of my favourite YouTubers, which is called JDH. I'll leave a link to his channel in the video description if you want to get a feel about what I'm talking about. And finally, I have my imperative and functional programming module. This goes into depth about the principles of the 2 programming paradigms being a way to program, because there's not just one set way of programming. So there's imperative and functional. There's others, but these are the ones that the module goes through. In this module, C is used for the imperative language and Haskell is used for the functional language. The module is very practical, but it also discusses theory in depth, such as data structures, higher order functions for functional programming, and bits and pointers, which is a very important aspect of C. In my previous videos, I have discussed my regret of Python being my first programming language, and learning C and Haskell has definitely contributed to rectifying this for me. Next, let's talk about course difficulty. I will rate the course difficulty around 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I've been grateful that I've been able to stay on top of all my lectures, but obviously as a university degree, it also requires a lot of additional effort such as extra reading and judicious problem solving, which has been more apparent in my computer architecture and programming lectures. Okay, so that was a bit about my initial experiences studying a computer science degree in the UK. If you're also studying computer science, let me know your experience in the comments, or if you're planning on studying computer science, head to my Instagram page @createdbyjadi to let me know any concerns, and I'll aim to address these for you. I've already helped a lot of students with the application inquiries and hope these videos and that messaging platform is making it easier for more students to get into computer science. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!